So how do we trust our instincts, and how do we trust below the instincts, and how do we get past this word G and realize soup, which is the ultra, which is all, which is implicating all factions are dissolved, and it's just one thing. So we connect to that neurologically with Samadhi pro-text, which builds intrinsic field to indicate spiral to intend to go fluidly to the unconscious. Now, Samadhi pretext is one thing for 3 months. Samadhi protext is an intrinsic field analysis deliberator that builds you to be more than. So you begin to build on top of that unconscious deliberation, to establish pathways to deliberate you entirely to other fields, to state that you've got simulations running in your mind, to come back with data and give you a better version of yourself. Many universes we build to suffer and function as engines in a future. The Samadhi context. So you've made it through 6 months of integration, and you've felt like sweating spirals and feelings all bring you to a joint center where you feel like your breath is part of you. You can feel code coming out of your lung. You can feel breath exiting with strategy and it's mind related. You become aware. You become pursuant. You become elevated. You become ridiculously aligned with the fluid chakra system and find that your internal field is actually regulated by your breath anyway. It is unconsciously sparsely regulated by societal norms to state that you indicate yourself as a spiral difference to others, stating that you're altogether different entirely, to say your physical members are simply an entity versus a package that entails all known reality, including things that are physical, things that are pleasing to the eye, things that are dissatisfying, things that are unconsciously bound to evil, things that persist evil to harm good, things that harm good to pursue evil, and things that pursue good to ensure evil is done, is likely not something happening, but then the good pursues the evil to become the evil so that the good can become the good when the good are actually evil because the evil are evil and the evil are good and the bad are the evil that are bad and the good that's good but bad is also bad, so it makes a balance. So we begin to show that we are actually relevant. Sorry, that was kind of confusing. We show that we are relevant in multiple spatial existences, where good and evil do exist simultaneously and self-regulate each other in a mind effort to balance a psychic equation of mind matter. So, what if we regulate the breath to a tone? Om. So those are tones. These tones can mask your frequency or match it, or intrinsically pursue a new frequency, or you can match tonality with others and experience tonality refreshness, which brings your unconscious mind to the surface through the regulating of conscious intention to deliberate through your internal psyche, back through your modalities of breath, to function a chain to your diaphragm, to push essential energy out, which is an idea. Essential energy, it's an idea of something represented in our space. So you're physically moving space in this respect. And this energy, or air, has been charged with your positive intention, hopefully. At least to say that the very deepest part is positive. But everything that's happening up top really occurs once you connect to 9 months of Samadhi. So now you've entered Samadhi. Unconsciously, trained biasly through the conscious indication of spiral moving to something related to mind, to join you to the intuitive, intrinsic field analysis machine that I've created in my mind, which is your mind. It's our mind. I've just said it's mine because I created it first. and I established it so I can pass it to you to become the creators, first in your life, and then in a new life as we store up treasures in chaos devoid zone, which is afterlife to some, next life to others, future life to some, future incarnation, future iteration, future complex, future deliberation, future reality, future me, future you, future us. That's it. So we can stop talking about it and be about it by toning. And then this builds this internal network back to your spatial psyche and the deep unconscious mind. And this is helping you connect to yourself as a child, is what this is doing. When we become so primitive in our brain complex and we connect to our deep unconscious mind, we become a binary machine of equations that are doing simple natured problems, like breathing, regulating your breath, your body temperature. The way you feel in a certain situation comes more when you implant memories and incorporate those things once you get up toward the midbrain. That's a different story. We're looking to get to your unconscious, to where things are simple, things are quiet, it's clear. There's nothing there but on or off, decided or undecided, go or do not go, be or do not be, sit or do not sit. These are triggers that your body must do to even align anything having to do with your body moving, which relates to your intention, which is where your consciousness is likely stored in your body. Your intrinsic field in your consciousness is your body regulating your speed or rate or frequency, as some say to put it, and explain yourself as a rate of speed in this reality. As to state you're a divergence from the coercive path of the one, which would be one frequency, and you're a discerning frequency outside of that, that's within that frequency, but is also either working to absorb frequency and integrate frequency, or absorb frequency and disintegrate frequency, which is what we do with strategies to do things like sports, or ridiculous equestrian activities, or things that implore us to become illicit showmen, to show people stuff, to become something of an expressical, to become a spectacle, and become rectical with everyone else as something that's susceptible to being aligned with a core fundamental ideology completely separate from what you're about. Y'all, I am world leader material is a lie. I'm Fortune 500 type, but I want to make something outside of business. I want to be related to psyche, and I'm telling you I'm an altruist. I don't want to be defined by reality. I don't want to be defined by capitulations, by agreements, by absorbed frequency. I want to be available to money, to express and experience. Things I've lightened myself to doing by approaching life from a place of altogether differentness and being altogether different to state that I'll say whatever I want to say because it's what's pushing me to say it. And that's us trying to speak through someone who's become available to the greater psyche at large, which is our mind, as the God mind, people would state it, is the super mind or the mind, as some say it. This is our mind. This is where our interstitial energy is matching up with the mind from our perception of mind. So why not go back to that? Go back to the breath. Go back to the yoga. Go back to the meditation. Go back to the appreciation of things like silence. But what if you view the other side of this? What if your active modality